Yo, 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 what's up? It's Power Plays Palace, and we back again. Man, what a day yesterday. So, let's get to it. Let's look at the chart, people. So, we was looking for a breakout long above 658, 673, I meant point 73, with an entry at 658.80, 659.40, but I'll stop below 657.20. Targets being 660.20, 662, and 664.20. With our rejection short near 658.20 in the 658.73 area. You know, that's if it rejected up there. We were looking at an entry around 658.20, 659, and that's where we'll jump in at with our stop below, a stop above 660.20. Targets being 656.80, 655, 69, and 653.80. So let's actually see what we got yesterday. I'm sorry about that. All right, that's a little shot of the pre-market. Let's look at yesterday. So spot came in. It opened up around 655.86, and it gave a brief little touchdown, and then it worked its way up to 659.72. Now, once it got in that area, it rejected, came back down, all the way back down to 656. So a little $3 move. But then it worked its way back up into the 658 range. And then it pretty much followed that pattern most of the day. It went back up into that area, pulled back, got all the way down to 655.52 to retest the low of the day around 1 o'clock. Worked its way back up, 657, down again, and then it just, like I said, it stayed in this range, consolidating pretty much for the rest of the day. Then you got the brief little push up where it actually closed the day around 658.87. So just looking at the chart, it really stayed in the chop zone for most of the day, but you could have got in and got down to the 655 area when it went up in that 658 area and it stalled. Those few times that it did that, and it pushed back down. So you could have got to the 655 area maybe once or twice. So for the most part, SPY stayed in that chop zone. So, if you didn't make many trades, if you didn't do much, there's a couple of times you could have did that, got a good trade in. So we'll see, man. That was not a big range. So, you had to be careful, but you could have made a couple moves. There's a nice W pattern right here in the middle. You can see it. So, but that was the trade for yesterday. So let's look at the chart for today. So yesterday's high was 659.72, and the low was 655.52. Our pre-market for this morning is 660.33, 653.92. And what we be doing, we're looking for a breakout long above 660.33 with our entry around 660.40, the 661 with our stop below 658.80. Our targets being 662.20, 664, and 666.50. And if it goes up into that area, pre-market high area, and it rejects, we'll be looking for an entry around the 659.70 area in the 660.50 range. That way it's cleared everything. We'll watch it push down. Put our stop above 661.80 to give us some wiggle room while it goes down. And then set our target at 657. 655, and 653.92. So you can see off of rejection, especially if it tests that pre-market high, then you'll be expecting a nice little pullback on that. And I'm gonna show you why. Let me show you why on this pre-market chart. So you can see on the pre-market what SPY did when it opened right here at 4 o'clock. It ran up here to 660.33. Got some strong resistance, and then it started to work its way back down. And right now, currently, it's at the 655.73 area. So that's why you see that range and that drop off, because what happened is it started to reject out that 660.33. But if you know how markets kind of work, sometimes what happens is there are points where it can go up and retest the high. That blue line is the VWAP. If it reclaims that VWAP and starts to work its way up, and it's able to retest that high today, and it can't break in a rejection and rejects it, then you have a nice range here to play it on the way back down to retest the low of the day. And that's why that range is like that on that chart, where you see you in around 659.70 to 660.33. That's up in this area right here where we was just looking at. And then if it starts to drop from there, you expect it to get back down into these areas and try to retest that low of the day, which right now currently the pre-market low is 653.92. So that's where you try to see, you would expect it to kind of go back to, because it retests the high today. Then if it rejects it, then it'll go back and look for that support. So at the low of the day, and that's based off, our projections and the way I see it today. So, but that is the trade plan for today. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna stay disciplined, watch our levels. Y'all see how wide that range is already. So be careful with this thing, man. And you see right now, look, it's already working its way down. This yellow line is the low of the day from yesterday. So it's already broken through that area. And so that pre-market low is definitely, if they retest this pre-market low now and it rejects and try to come back up, then that might be a sign that it could be going up to retest the high today. But the news, got to be careful right now. There's another ultimatum being presented. So the markets have been responding to those things. Not very good, so we'll see what happens this morning with the market. But if the market overall looks like it's going to be red, then be careful, playing these levels. And so that's your trade plan for today on the SPY, man. Be careful, stick to your levels, stay disciplined. And if anything I say in this video help you become a better trader, man, like, share, and subscribe, and follow along, man. And let's try to grow as traders and get better. And I look forward to seeing everybody make money in this market, man. Let's do it. All right. Now, if you want to come join us, come to Power Plays, the Discord. And again, if you like what you see, man, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how I'm doing, man. This Power Plays Palace. We'll catch up with y'all tomorrow on a beautiful Wednesday. But for today, this is what we're doing right now, man. And we will be out of here